Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. Okay, so today we're really digging into something interesting. We've got a bunch of source material pointing to, well, a pretty big shift in how tech, especially AI, is evolving. We're kind of moving past those huge general AI models, the GPTs, the Groks everyone talks about. The focus now seems to be fragmenting, getting more specialized. So our mission today is to unpack this rise of what people are calling ambient specialized AI agents and also look at the hardware fight, like what devices will actually run all this stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you really look at the trends, especially just in the last, say, 6 months, the whole conversation's changed. It's less about can an AI write a poem and much more about can an AI figure out and just do this complex task for me without me holding its hand. We're seeing this big move towards these specialized systems that sort of wrap around you. They do things in the background. Sometimes you might not even notice.
Okay, ambient specialized. Let's break that down. The most immediate place this seems to be popping up is at work with these new agentic AI tools. So for you listening, before we dive into specific products like Zoom, what does agentic actually mean here, practically speaking?
Right. Well, think of it like the difference between, say, a hammer and a carpenter, a tool versus someone who can actually manage a project. An agentic AI isn't just about following one command. It's designed to autonomously handle tasks that have multiple steps. On your behalf, it can manage something complex, not just fire off a quick email.
Gotcha. So like an employee almost. And the poster child for this right now seems to be that Zoom AI Companion 3.0 update they just pushed.
It really is. They're positioning it as the work agent. This new version, it's specifically built to, well, improve the quality of your work by connecting insights across different places you work. It can pull insights from your past Zoom calls, sure, but also generate summaries from docs you've written, and this is key. It has this powerful retrieval function.
Okay, that retrieval part sounds like the real game changer.
Right.
Because it's not just searching Zoom itself, right?
Exactly. It turns Zoom from just a meeting tool into more of an intelligence hub for your work. It integrates with Google stuff, Microsoft stuff. So if you ask the Zoom agent a complicated question, it doesn't just check the meeting transcript. It goes digging across your emails, your chats, your shared docs, your whole digital footprint at work, basically to find the answer.
Wow. Okay, that changes the definition of productivity, doesn't it? Less hunting for info yourself.
Totally. Less time searching, synthesizing, more time actually thinking. And, this idea of just giving high-level direction and letting the AI handle the messy details, we're seeing that top up in software development, too. People are calling it vibe coding.
Vibe coding. I have to admit, that sounds maybe a little bit silly.
Yeah.
But I think I get the idea. It's like you describe the software you want in detail using normal language, and the AI builds it. You don't actually write lines of code.
That's the core idea, yeah. I mean, for simple stuff like make me a basic web page, you could probably use ChatGPT or Claude, one of the consumer ones. But for really complex professional projects, that's where you need these specialized AI-first tools like that code editor called Cursor.
Right, and the quality really depends on how well you describe the vibe, I guess. Like if I just say, make me a website that tells time, I'll get something super basic, probably just a digital clock, low effort, low reward.
Exactly. But if you act more like an architect, right?
Yeah.
And you give it a really detailed prompt, something like, okay, build me a site showing the time in London, New York, Tokyo, Sydney, and LA. Needs both an analog clock face and a digital readout for each. And make the whole thing look like it's from the 1980s, that retro vibe.
Yeah.
Then the AI can actually deliver something functional, complex, based just on that vision you described.
Huh. So the job changes. It's less about knowing Python syntax and more about being incredibly clear and descriptive about what you want built. You're the strategist.
Precisely. You're offloading the how, the complex mechanics, and focusing purely on the what, the concept.
Okay, offloading complexity. That actually transitions us nicely. Let's talk about AI working behind the scenes, the sort of invisible stuff. Infrastructure, safety.
Yeah, this is where that ambient idea gets really serious. Often mission critical, and the average person might have no idea AI is involved. Like AT&T's new system, GeoModeler. It's a generative AI they've rolled out nationwide. Its job is to dynamically adjust the mobile network in real time, especially during big emergencies. Think like those flash floods they had in central Texas recently.
Wow, okay, how does an AI predict where a cell tower might fail because of a flood or something? That sounds futuristic.
It uses some pretty advanced simulations. Specifically, it uses ray tracing.
Ray tracing, like
Perhaps.
like in video games, for realistic lighting.
Exactly like in video games. But instead of light, it simulates how radio transmissions travel and bounce around in the real world, considering buildings, terrain, everything. It uses that to forecast potential coverage gaps before they even happen.
Okay, so it predicts a gap. Does it just ping an engineer somewhere?
Nope, this is the agentic part again. It can autonomously compensate. It might subtly adjust the tilt of a nearby antenna or boost the signal power from surrounding towers to fill that predicted gap.
That's huge for just, reliable service day to day. But for first responders,
It's absolutely critical, especially for those on the FirstNet platform. It helps ensure they stay connected when things go bad. Life-saving potential there.
so AI agents, managing our work docs, managing cell networks. What about our personal space, like our cars? Qualcomm seems really big on the idea of the car becoming the ultimate personal AI agent.
They really are. Their vision makes sense in a way. The car is already loaded with sensors, cameras, mics. It's naturally a hands-free environment, so the car becomes your agent. It could handle complex stuff, like imagine getting stuck in a huge traffic jam. The car agent could automatically reschedule your next 2 meetings, text the people involved, and maybe even find an alternate route, all based on that one event.
Or booking a restaurant.
Yeah, or maybe you drive past a restaurant and casually mention you're hungry. The agent checks reviews, sees it's good, knows your calendar's free, and asks if you want it to book a table. Proactive stuff.
I see the appeal, the convenience.
Nice.
But that level of the car just doing things, trust is a big factor. And how does it transition? If I'm using an agent on my smart glasses, like those Oakley Metas, what happens when I hop in my BMW?
That handoff is crucial, and the thinking behind it is all about safety, really. You don't want drivers fiddling with glasses or phones, so the idea is the car system seamlessly takes over the agent duties the moment you get in. BMW and Qualcomm actually showed this off. They call it symbiotic drive.
Hmm.
In their demo, the car, I think it was an iX3, could take brief control, like literally just for a second or two if you needed your hands for something quick, like taking a sip of coffee or swatting a bee or something, then hands control right back.
Huh. A momentary reprieve managed by the car. It's fascinating, this sort of gradual letting go of tiny bits of control for convenience and safety.
Okay, but all these systems, these agents, infrastructure, personal minds, they need to live somewhere, right? They need hardware. So let's pivot to that battleground.
Absolutely. And that hardware race is still super intense. Apple versus Samsung. Mainly, let's start with foldables. Still kind of niche here in the US, maybe. But Samsung is really making inroads. Their latest ones, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 and Fold 7, apparently they're converting people to Galaxy faster than any previous flip phone did.
That's interesting. And maybe the biggest sign that foldables are coming, eventually. That rumor that Apple might actually partner with Samsung Display for the screen on a future iPhone Fold, if true, that's a big deal competitively.
Huge shift. Now, sticking with Apple, let's talk about the iPhone Air. The sources are pretty clear. There's a big trade-off happening here.
Yeah, it's super thin, looks elegant, right? But that comes at the cost of battery life, which means you almost need that extra battery pack. The dedicated MagSafe one, yeah. It's $99, it's slim itself, fits the aesthetic, but it's kind of annoying, isn't it? Only fits the Air, and the battery pack itself doesn't have MagSafe on its back, so you can't stack things. It feels like a workaround for a design choice.
Classic Apple trade-off.
Yeah.
Aesthetics over maybe raw practicality sometimes. But on the durability front, they did make a jump.
They did, yeah. The ceramic shield, too, on the new iPhone 17 lineup. Reports say it's like 3 times more scratch resistant. Holds up much better in those Mohs hardness tests. Only light scratches way up at level 7. And it's tough, too. The iPhone Air apparently withstood something like 216 pounds of pressure in bend tests. The material science is definitely improving.
But drop tests.
Ah, yeah. Drop tests still show if it lands face down on concrete without a case. It's probably still going to shatter. Physics is physics.
Fair enough. Okay, moving to the wrist.
Yeah.
Smartwatches. This space is really heating up now with more AI integration. Apple Watch Series 11 versus the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8.
Right. Apple Watch Series 11, the big ads are 5G connectivity finally, and more health features, hypertension notifications, more detailed sleep score analysis. Starts at $399.
And Samsung's response, the Galaxy Watch 8.
Samsung countered hard. They've got that circular or squircle design choice. Screen gets significantly brighter, 3,000 nits peak brightness, whereas the Apple Watch 11 tops out at 2,000. And crucially, it's got Google's Gemini voice assistant built in, plus features like a smart running coach. And it starts a bit lower, $350. You can see the AI agent features being baked right in.
And beyond watches, there are other wearables getting smarter too, right? Like
Yeah.
the Aura Ring.
Definitely. Aura just launched their Ring 4 in a ceramic version, zirconia ceramic.
Why ceramic? Just looks.
It looks nice, sure, but the clever part is the color is part of the material. It's not a coating. So theoretically, it won't scratch off or fade like a painted metal ring might. More durable long term.
Okay, makes sense. But the real news there wasn't just the material, was it?
No, the bigger deal is the deeper health integration. It's $499 for the ring itself, but now they offer these $99 health panels through Quest Diagnostics. You go get actual blood work done, covering like 50 different biomarkers. Then that clinical data gets linked directly to your Aura sleep and activity data within the app, and an AI advisor helps interpret what it all means together.
Whoa. So it bridges the gap from just tracking your sleep to getting potentially actionable, like clinical level insights based on blood tests.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
It really is, connecting passive tracking with active diagnostics.
Okay, we've hit infrastructure, work, personal devices. Let's wrap up with maybe the wildest, most creatively chaotic use of AI right now, generating media, deepfakes, basically. OpenAI's Sora 2.
Yeah, Sora 2, their latest model for generating video and synchronized audio purely from text prompts. The realism is, well, it's getting seriously impressive. So impressive, in fact, that they also launched this invite-only Sora social app. Think of it like a TikTok or Instagram, but where basically all the video content is AI generated by users.
A social network full of deepfakes, essentially.
Right.
Posted by humans, but generated by AI.
Pretty much. And we're seeing incredibly realistic stuff pop up. Fake news reports, fake interviews, completely fabricated conversations.
I know they talk about safety features, metadata, the watermarks, detection tools, but the worry is still there, right? The sources say it's getting incredibly hard for the average person to spot the fakes.
It absolutely is. The uncanny valley is shrinking fast, which, makes you question what creativity even is when a machine can do this. There was actually a recent study on this. It suggested that AI creativity isn't really magic. It's fundamentally just very complex math. It's remixing tiny fragments and patterns from its training data in novel ways until something new emerges.
So it's like a super sophisticated collage artist working with patterns it's already seen. It's predictable in a way.
That's the argument. And actually, the study framed it as encouraging news for human artists because the AI, however good, is still working within the boundaries and styles it learned. It follows the rules of the data.
Whereas humans
have the unique ability to completely break the rules, to ignore the patterns, to go way outside the expected style, to inject genuine rebellion or unpredictability that a machine, based on its training, probably can't just invent from scratch.
So the human edge is in breaking the mold, not just perfecting the existing one.
Exactly. The future for human creativity might be in being the outlier, the rule breaker.
That's actually a really hopeful thought to land on. Okay, so let's recap what we dug into today. The big picture is AI isn't just a tool you consciously use anymore. It's becoming ambient, woven into the background. It's getting embedded in critical infrastructure, like we saw with AT&T managing its network. It's morphing into powerful personal agents in Zoom for work, potentially in our cars managing our day. At the same time, it's pushing creative boundaries, maybe even blurring reality with things like Sora 2. Which leads to our final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. We heard how companies like Qualcomm envision our cars becoming primary AI agents, even taking momentary control for safety or convenience. So thinking about that and about how AI is getting embedded everywhere, where do you think the ultimate line gets drawn? What's the final boundary between what we let ambient AI control for efficiency and what fundamentally needs to stand or direct human control? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussion.